many of the member associations say, President, we never qualify for the AFCON. Please, the CHAN is our AFCON. And when I went to Uganda and Kenya and Tanzania during the CHAN, I was very proud with what I saw. So this new competition will start in 2029, because as at this stage, we've got AFCON, Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda next year. We've got another AFCON in 28, and as you've heard, there's a whole restructuring of our competitions to make sure that we are in line with competitions of FIFA and the best in the world. But this African Nations League, it's world class. Two quick questions. Get the lady as part of the two.
Just which lady? Let's start with you. Where's the microphone? There we go.
There's a gentleman at the end. He was going to ask a question. Now I gave it to a lady and say, you ask the question.
And then alternatively, those who will come to the stadium will do the mix zone there. So that.
Habari za jioni, naitwa Wastara Msese kutoka East Africa Television.
Good evening. My name is Wastara Msese from East Africa Television.
Nina maswali mawili kwako Dr. Motsepe. Kwanza nikupongeze.
I have two questions for you, President Motsepe.
Na pia nimefurahishwa kusikia kwa maana pamoja bid tutaandaa hii AFCON ya 2027.
She's pleased that pamoja will be hosting the AFCON 2027.
Swali la kwanza ni kuhusiana na challenges za miundombinu ya viwanja ambayo ulizungumza, ambayo ina face mataifa mengi ya Afrika na baadhi yao kushindwa hata kuandaa mechi za club.
First question, it's the lack of infrastructure that you speak about in many countries that's making us not organize tournaments.
Kwa ikitumika kwenye hatua za mwishoni katika michuano ya Champions League na shirikisho Afrika.
Okay,
pamoja.
Right.
President is saying about the V.A.R.
My apologies, because they also want to hear in front. Yeah.
Okay, saying about the V.A.R. It's used at the last stages of Champions League and CC.
Thank you.
CHAN and also AFCON.
CHAN and also on the last stage on CHAN.
No, in CHAN and AFCON inatumika V.A.R. Sasa CAF inafikiria nini kwenye kusaidia mashirikisho ambayo ni wanachama kupunguza gharama ili waweze kutumia V.A.R. kwenye ligi, lakini pia hata kwenye Champions League na shirikisho kuanzia katika hatua za awali.
So how is CAF going to help the federations in order to accommodate the V.A.Rs from the beginning of the Champions League and the CC competitions?
Pili ni kwenye matumizi ya sauti V.A.R. kutoka kwenye chumba cha mawasiliano na waamuzi kipindi mchezo unachezwa.
Same applies to the V.A.R. sound from the booth to the referee.
Asante sana. Asante sana. Asante sana. We are all, when you say yeah, this yeah is something you find from Nairobi to Cape Town, because we are all one people. Our roots are amongst the Swahili people. So is that correct? Asante sana. That's correct. Thank you very much. Okay, so he says, how are we going to help the football federations? Yeah. Now, of course, every country, the football federation themselves take leadership, and some of them say it's too much money, and that's why we called for what we called a simplified a simplified version of V.A.R. Would like to see every football federation have V.A.R. Partly why we are trying to increase the money that the football federations get is to make sure that some of that money goes into infrastructure and facilities. So from our perspective now, we use V.A.R. only at the quarterfinal, round of 16. Sorry? Knockout stages, yeah. So we will see how we can, because it's one of the things we're talking about, make sure that, that we have them as well, our V.A.R. Because there's also a job for people as a V.A.R. operator. quite apart from a match commissioner and a coach. So what we are doing is to try and increase the money that each federation gets. But I know that, and I don't want to mention specific countries where their football has got so much money and even they don't have V.A.R. But we encourage everybody to have V.A.R. It's very important. Continue.
Go to the gentleman in the middle.
President, my name is Petro Mzigu from PMTV Tanzania. Well, the strong foundation of youth football is widely recognized. Of course, I visited Algeria and Morocco in sometimes, and I noticed that there's a gap between North African countries and East Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa, so to say, in terms of academies, infrastructure, and technical aspects. What specific efforts do CAF do to make sure that they bridge this gap and make sure that the coming AFCON tournament inspire the strong foundation in these academies?
Good question.
Yes, to build strong competitive clubs and national teams.
Brilliant.
For FIFA competitions.
Brilliant question. Brilliant. My family foundation donated about $10 million to the school's football, and we spent about $50 million as a family on over the years on sports. And the single biggest and best investment we can do in football is in our youth. Academies for boys and girls. You know what? I was talking to one of in the EXCO meeting. He keeps showing me the photo of 2018 or 2017 where the best players in your national team were this is 7 years ago, were young. Will you just make that comment about that national team?
Nilimwonyesha nani hii picha ya kina Mabula wakati wanacheza 2019 Dar es Salaam under 17 AFCON, lakini pia na kina Dickson Jobu wakati wako Gaboni 2017. Nikamwambia ndio asilimia kubwa inajumuisha wachezaji wetu kwenye timu ya taifa. Lakini alikuwa anaongelea kuhusu Motsepe Foundation kutoa dola milioni 10 kwa ajili ya shule. Tanzania ndio beneficiary wa kwanza. Lakini pia tunaongeza flow moja kwenye majengo yetu kuhakikisha kwamba tunapata vyumba vya kutosha, tunaweka na computer lab kwa ajili ya wale vijana wanaokaa kwenye hayo maeneo. Kwa hiyo ni ndio initiative ambayo keshaifanya toka ameingia.